Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Ord. Yesterday, the Braves lost again. We're losers. That's just what we do, and the takes we're spewing on Twitter. And I just can't tell you how little I care that we've lost 4 in a row. If I could care less, if there's like a 0.001% that I could care less about us losing 4 in a row in July with a 9.5 game lead, and the Phillies also lost. What am I supposed to care about? To me, this is all feeling itself out. It's all there's also what people don't realize is you lose 4 in a row. Maybe you actually showed a chink in the armor. Guess what? The trade deadline's in 2 weeks, guys. It's in 2 weeks. If anything, this is a good thing because it makes Alex Anthopoulos say, oh, I'm not going to sit on my hands. It's oh, I have to do something. I have to, maybe there is a chink in the armor. We were so infallible. There was so nothing wrong with us for 2 months or 6 weeks or whatever you want to call it, that it's a good thing that a little chink in the armor shows, because guess what? Now you can fix it. Now you have 2 weeks to fix it. Now Alex Anthopoulos says, okay, let's go do something. And I don't understand how people can't comprehend that it's good that this is happening. There is something that there is value in all of this. The other thing I want to say is Charlie Morton. Okay, he gave up 4 runs last night. Charlie Morton looks as sharp as he ever has. I know that he gave up 4 runs, and I know it wasn't perfect. Charlie Morton's curveball is the nastiest pitch in baseball. It's the nastiest pitch in baseball. He looks fantastic. And I know people are going to be like, oh, he lost. He didn't pitch that well, blah, blah, blah. I'm an optimist when it comes to the Braves. Because why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't I be?
Yeah, I agree with most of the points you made. I think so. Losers of 4 straight, 1-5 in the past 6, and the Braves have gained ground in the division.
Think about that. I think 1-6, right?
Within the past 6, they're 1-5. Maybe they're 1-6 in the past 7.
No, you're right. We've lost 4 in a row.
And the Braves have gained ground in division. Just think about that. We've won 1 game in the past 6 and have gained ground in the division. Yet Braves country would have you believe the Marlins and Phillies are nipping at our heels. That's not the case. After a historic first half of the season, this was bound to happen, especially without 2 of our top starters, 4 of our top contributors in the bullpen. This was bound to happen. If you didn't think, the Braves were going to go unaffected the entire season by all these injuries, you just haven't watched enough baseball. It's a long season. Losing 4 in a row is not that big of a deal, especially for a team as talented as this. With that being said, I couldn't agree more, Chase. The worst thing that maybe could have happened for the Braves is not facing any adversity whatsoever throughout the season before they get to October. No adversity, teams need to learn about themselves and need to learn how to win in multiple ways, because when it comes to the postseason, you're going to have to win in more than one way. You can't just win, pitching great. You're going to have to win pitching great. Your starter's going to have to go deep, or your bullpen's going to have to step up, or the bats are going to have to step up. There's always going to come a time where one facet of the team falls down and the other parts have to pick it up. I'm not worried about the Braves. You could tell by their demeanor as well. Brian Snitker said it. He's like, you can't get lucky all the time. This is baseball. Matt Olson, relax, guys. Travis d'Arnaud even said, I think this is good for us. We've been really, really good, and we haven't really had that much adversity. I just think this isn't a big deal at all. And if you want to take one silver lining out of this, Austin Riley seems to be back. 3 home runs in 2 games. If anybody can get scorching hot as the sun, it's Austin Riley. Last July, he had an OPS north of 1,300, close to 1,400. This offense was already a juggernaut, and Austin Riley's not even sniffing what he was doing in the past 2 seasons. Austin Riley gets hot. This Braves offense is unbeatable. No pitcher wants to see this Braves offense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think in general, it's all good. Facing adversity, dealing with this, realizing maybe you need another bullpen reliever, which we've been saying for weeks, but I think it's a good thing to say. I just think nothing but positives come from this. And I don't know. I don't understand why people can't see the big picture here. Like that's what I'm saying. Like look at this from the big picture and realize that winning a game right now, winning being the best team in baseball in July doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't mean a damn thing. I want to talk a little bit, and I'm just totally flipping gears here. I want to go back to Shohei Ohtani because I really want to talk about
everything goes back to Ohtani. Everything leads to Ohtani. I want to go back.
I want to talk about fans that were, I mean, maybe yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, who were like, you don't need Ohtani. You don't need that. You know what?
Those are the same fans panicking right now.
It's like, dude, it's baseball. You can lose in any moment. It doesn't matter how good you are. This is not the Lakers. Not the Lakers. It's not the Warriors with Kevin Durant. Like, it's not where it's like, oh yeah, they can't lose. Like if they're healthy, like they're going to win. Like they absolutely do not need to do anything. They don't need to go out and get LeBron because like they don't need to do that. Right. This is baseball. You need to be as good, even with Ohtani. Like, let's say that raises your chances to 35% chance of winning it. It's still not over 50. It's still not over 50. You need to, at all times, be the best you can possibly be and try to get better at all times because this is baseball. And this is a perfect example of that. So I'm not even going to say, I'm not going to try to mock a trade. Okay. Well, all right, let's mock it real quick. Bryce Elder, Kyle Wright. But I'm not even going to try to mock the trade. But this is just a perfect example of why you constantly need to be trying to get better at all times. And even if it's not Ohtani, even if it's Josh Hader or someone, you need to try to be the best you can possibly be. And clearly the Braves are the favorites to win it all. They have the best roster in baseball right now, and it's not close. But everyone else at the trade deadline that is competing is going to get a little bit better because they're all going to try to make moves. I mean, you saw the Orioles trade for Funjamami or whatever from the Athletics yesterday. Everyone's going to get a little bit better. And the Braves need to take that same approach because you're not guaranteed anything. It doesn't matter how good the roster is right now. You can lose 4 in a row with 2 of those games coming against the damn White Sox and 2 of those games coming against the Diamondbacks, who you might play in the playoffs. So yeah. I'm just saying this adversity, everything that happens, if this is happening in September, maybe I'm like, ooh, I don't like the way this looks. But the fact that it's happening before the trade deadline couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. If we had won every game leading up to the trade deadline, we might not have made a move. I can almost guarantee you now, Alex Anthopoulos is watching this and saying 100% we got to make a tweak here, a tweak there. And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be Ohtani, but I'd love it. But
yeah, it's crazy that, Braves fans haven't learned after winning the World Series. The Braves weren't even close to the best team when they won the World Series. They were just playing the best baseball when it mattered most. And that's at the end of September and into October. It's like we just forgot about that completely. That's all that matters in this sport. Just think back to last year, the Phillies, and the year before that, and the year before that. It happens every year where the best team in baseball doesn't win the World Series. It rarely happens. So the Braves aren't thinking about a series in July against the Diamondbacks. They're not concerned with it. All they're concerned with is getting right, figuring things out, building toward October. That's all that matters. Building towards October.
Yeah. I want to talk about something after the break. We're going to talk a little bit about Max Fried. We're going to talk Kyle Wright. We're going to talk injury updates after the break.